actually get into our footwork. Try to flex the feet as best you can, aiming the toes to the sky, and try not to let the toes turn out too much. Imagine I balance that blue Bosu ball right on the top of your feet. You don't want to let it fall anywhere. I love how quiet it is with your pedals, so just a couple reminders. If you hear any squeaking or any jiggling of that pedal, maybe you're using a little too much feet. And try to anchor more from the feet and lift more from your seat. Let's start to take this range of motion a little bit smaller, so take it halfway down and all the way back up. You may articulate through that half range of motion or hinge. I will let you decide. Just make sure your spine is nice and protected. You feel the glutes and the hamstrings working. I love how quiet your pedal is. Can you turn the music a little bit down for me? Thank you, my friend. Check it real quick in with that upper body before we move on. You want to have a nice base of support because we are eventually going to take this into single leg. A little bit less reps through our warm-up today so that we can make it through our full circuit, okay? On the last one here, lift those hips up nice and high and extend your right leg straight up to the sky. Pause. And then place that foot gingerly right back down onto the pedal to switch, and then continue here. My suggestion is inhale to lift the leg, exhale to put it down, so we're moving nice and slow and intentionally with our breath. Yeah, notice how much quieter it got with your pedal, right? Try to keep that pedal nice and still and nice and quiet. Can you return the feet fist distance, right? You can't see, so use your mind's eye. And can you flex those feet? Aim those toes back to the sky. Yeah, try not to get them further apart. We're going to be doing one more thing here. If you feel like you need to take a break, no big deal. No, this is a little bit of a longer round. When you can make your way with your right leg straight up towards the sky, take yourself there and pause. Let's do our classical choreography. Let's flex that foot, lower it down. Point it, lift it right back up. Can you find your 3 points of contact, knee to knee first, and then the leg to the calf? And then maybe the leg goes to the ankle, and then switch sides. Go a little slower on the next side. Take that left leg straight up and pause, and then start to lower it down. Can you go knee to knee and lift back up? Can you go leg to the calf and lift back up? Maybe, maybe not. You tell me where you can take that leg today. Switch sides after you've done your last one here. Continue on just like this. Try to find 3 lowers and lifts on each side. I like how much steadier and quiet your pedal is getting. Remember, take breaks as you need, but I'm going to give you about 5 more seconds here to try to even yourself out. I like that we've slowed it down. I like our precision with the feet coming back down. You've got 5. Can you maybe move a little more with your breath? And for 3. And for 2. Excellent job, ladies. On 1, when your leg comes back up, return that foot back down. Lift those hips back up. Take an inhale. Pause. Steady the pedal. And then as you take a long, slow exhale, lower down if you can, bone by bone by bone. Good job. Hug those knees in towards your chest. Gentle rock from side to side, maybe adding a piriformis stretch in there if you like that for your hips. A little hamstring stretch if you like that for the back of the legs. Good job. Alrighty, from here, like a little inchworm, I want you to scoot yourselves back, back, back just a little bit on the mat so that you feel like you have a little more mat space between you and the chair. And then hug your knees in towards your chest. Alrighty, from here, chin to your chest, come into a little ball position. Can you rock up and balance on your butt cheeks without letting your feet find the floor? Can you rock back without letting your head find the floor? What exercise are we doing? Rolling like a ball, yeah, right? Or rolling back, as they like to say in classical. But I think rolling like a ball is a little bit more exciting and fun of a name. Now, notice as you're doing this, can you relax your shoulders a little bit more? Relax your hands a little more so your abs are getting a little bit more of this work. When I say the number 1, I want you to try to stand up. The chair is there if you need help, but try not to use your hands. If you feel like you need more space for your feet to find the floor, now's the time to adjust. For 3, for 2, for 1. Try to make your way on and up. Whee! Yes, good. It gets easier each time, right? I mean, you're not falling, so that's good. All right, let's have a seat on the chair for footwork. So turn around and face your springboard for me. Again, not a lot of reps in choreography today, just kind of warming us up for the circuit. Arches of your feet on, pressing the pedal down so we can get nice and lined up like you were lying on the reformer. Shoulders over hips, knees over ankles. This looks pretty good to me. Let's bring the hands to the front edge of the chair. Don't grab on, but rather press with your palms. And then let's start to move that pedal. Good, adjusting for your own height. If you feel like you need to scoot forwards or backwards to have a nice range of motion, you may. But I like how tall your postures are already, really lifting up through that breastbone. Let's match it to the breath. Inhale, press down. Exhale, come up. I'll let you decide what you want to do with the feet. You can round the toes forward or flex them back. Maybe the toes rounded forward feels different than the feet flexed in the bridge, so maybe you do that here instead. Let's start to lift the arms straight in line with your chest, arms reaching forward. Noticing how that might change your practice. Did you lean a little forward? Are you still right up on top of those sits bones? Are your arms anchored in space? If I were to come by and try to press your arms down, would we kind of fight a little bit about that? Can you keep your form but slightly quicken your pace, keeping the breath moving with your quickened pace, right? So now maybe your breath is a little bit faster. Let's go here for about 5 more seconds, lifting up the heart, pressing the shoulders down for 5. This looks lovely, friends. For 4, and for 3, and for 2, and for 1. Go halfway down, add some pulses for me, a few inches up and down. Think about these pulses not coming from your feet, but rather coming from the back of the thigh, pressing up and down against the edge of that chair. Go for 5. Are your arms still active? For 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, pause. Bring the arms into genie position. Now your hands are here if you need to, but can we inch the toes to Pilates V position without using our hands? And then when you're ready, start to pump the pedal in Pilates V. All 10 toes are on the pedal, heels are tight and touching. Lift it a little bit up and away from the springs. I want you to adjust your posture, or not your posture, but rather your seat forwards or backwards to help you have good posture and still have a nice range of motion. I like what I see so far. Inhale it down, exhale it up. Feel like the backs of your heels are pulling up to the backs of the thighs. Good. Lean a little back for me, Jill, just a little bit. Right there, beautiful. Good. Check in with your rib cage. Let's see if we can pull it in a little bit tighter, keeping that breastbone a little bit lifted. Now be aware you do have a neighbor, but I think we're good to go here. Send your arms out into a T position, but just like when they were in front of you, make them nice and strong in space. Can we quicken our pace here, down and up? Same range of motion, same posture, same breath, just a little faster. This looks lovely. Let's go here for about 5 more seconds. And 4. And 3, and 2. Come halfway down on 1 and pulse the pedal a few inches up and down. Don't let the pulses flap those arms like a bird. Lift the heart up and proud. Now find a place where you can pause that pedal. Can you lower the heels a little to the springs? If they tap, it's okay. Can you lift the heels a little away from the springs? Little ankle articulation. Go for 4, and for 3, and for 2. And for 1, and pause. Can you leave your arms like this and inch your heels to the corners of your pedal? And again, you can adjust your seat a little outer in with your butt to make yourself stay nice and steady. Sweep your hands back behind the head. You can also bring the hands in front of your forehead if you need to protect your shoulders more than this. Start to pump that pedal up and down. Heels are pressing down nice and heavy. Naturally with the arms like this, those ribs and chests, and you are gonna go more forward. So think push head and hands together to almost kind of think you're leaning slightly back. Then lift the breastbone from there. Can you drive the heels down, but then pull up with your heels? So it's a little bit different than when we had the toes on, harder to pull the heels up here, but try to recreate that same sensation. Very nice job, everybody. Let's go here a little faster, still matching your breath. Let's go here for about 5 more seconds. And for 4, lean a little back to me. Nope, back, there we go. And for 3, go ahead, lean a little back to me. Beautiful. And for 2, rib cage a little to me. Yes. And for 1, can you hold and pause and pulse that pedal a few inches up and down? Think about it coming from the backs of the thighs. Can the arms reach straight up towards the sky? Good. Arms by ears as best you can. Good job not leaning forward, especially if I gave you those little adjustments. If you feel like you're a little further back than you should be, you're probably doing it correctly. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, on 1, pause the pedal halfway down. You're going to take your right hand behind you to the back corner of the chair, take the left hand to the right knee, and give yourself a little twisty twist. Yeah, a little stretch. Stay lifted tall. Don't look down. Nothing exciting. Yes, good. And then center, arms up, big stretch. Just opening up the side body a little bit. Switch sides. And use your hands to give you a little bit of twisty twist, but try not to let the pedal move. Excellent. Good. Arms come back up. Can you give me a little spinal extension? Heart up, eyes up, but don't lean the sits bones back. Excellent, ladies. Good. Bring the pedal up, bring the arms down, and let your legs hang forward over the pedal. Very nice job. Okay, remember we do have a neighbor, right? But we're going to lie atop the chair. We've done that before. Facing this way. So go ahead and swing your legs to face the back of the studio. Inch your booty a little forward there. And then try to lay down on the top of the chair, bringing the hands behind the head for a little bit of support, okay? And just kind of come into a little ball position for me. All righty, from here, if you need to lower the head, neck, and shoulders back behind you for a little bit of a stretch, that's okay. Some of you might be close to your neighbor's foot bar, but I think we're okay. Good, now chin back to the chest if you took that quick little stretch. From here, stretch your legs out to 45 degrees and pause. Right arm comes next to the hip. What do you think we're about to do? Left arm comes next to the hip. What do you think you're about to do? Pump away. There you go, queens. Good job. In for 5, out for 5. We're going to do it 100 atop the chair today. Anytime you hate it for any reason at all, you swing those legs right over to the floor and get on the floor and do the 100. No big deal. You can keep the legs high or low. I'm going to let you choose that range of motion that challenges your abs but keeps your form, and I like what I see so far. From behind, see how much you can curl those shoulder blades away from the edge of the chair. But do know that if you have to bring them down, the chair is there for your shoulders but not for your head. So note to self. Well, proprioception, right? Don't touch your neighbor's head. But can you reach like you want to touch your neighbor's head? Yeah, so your legs are, reaching as long as your arms. Now try to blow the neighbor off the chair with the pumping of your arms. Let's make some wind in this room. Beautiful. In for 5. Out for 5. 3 more breaths. In and out. 2 more breaths. You've got this, guys. Good job. Eyes to the thighs the whole time. Last breath, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hug your knees. You may let the head go back if that feels good. Be careful of your space. Very nice job. All right, and then you're going to swing your legs over to your mat space and come and stand in front of the pedal. Alrighty, so note to self, the pedal's going to feel a little bit heavier for our plank today, but rather than having to change springs all the time, this will be good. Y'all are a strong group, okay? So we are going to place our hands on the pedal for a plank. So walk forward and send your arms to the sky to start. Roll the spine on down. Pause for a moment, let the head hang, and gently push that pedal down. Bend the knees to support you if you feel like it's a little heavy, okay? Now continue to bend the knees if the pedal's not on the floor with straight legs so that we can go into the plank. Walk the feet back. Feet open will be more supportive. Feet together will be the most challenged. This is your first one of the many today. So pick your poison wisely, but I like what I see so far. Pushing down into the pedal. Feel like you're also spreading it wide. Heart is over the pedal. Head is close to the chair, but not touching. Feet are slightly pointed because you do want to be forward, but not so far, again, that your head is touching that pedal. From here, if you'd like to add on slightly, start to point and flex those feet, giving those abs a little more challenge, giving your shoulders a little more challenge. Yes, but using your proprioception so you don't hit your head on the chair, right? So maybe it's not as big as if the chair wasn't there. This looks good. Hips stay low, tuck them under, but pull the ribs, in and up. 5 seconds. And 4. And 3. And 2. Now on 1, let the knees lower down. The pedal is going to kind of come up a little bit stronger today. So lean your hips back, let the pedal come up. For your child's pose, you're welcome to leave your hands on the pedal or on the floor, but just sink back and stretch your back. Choose what you want for your shoulders. If your hands are on the pedal, let the head go as much as feels good. But protect your cervical spine. Your brain is real close to it. Woof. Okay, friends. All right, we are warmed up and ready to start our little circuit. So we're actually going to start on the reformer with standing leg slides. Before we stand up, I need you to do one thing and bring your foot bar down to the bottom level. Okay, that'll give you a moment to kind of reset here. Get yourself up and off the floor. Catch your breath if you need to. Okay, down to the bottom. Yep, in the bottom rung. Perfect. Good job. All righty, from there, everybody take your foot bar and do this. Make sure it's locked in. Yes. Okay, now we are extra good to go. All right, Bosu off there for me. That'd be really challenging. All right, now remember, foot goes on the platform first, then on the carriage. Stand yourself up and assume your position for standing leg slides, okay? Just put your foot on the carriage where it feels natural to start and bring your hands onto the hips and find a place where the carriage can start completely closed, okay? We're eventually gonna add in some arm positions, but we're not moving our spine. If you feel like you need more or less range of motion with your carriage, you can inch your foot in or out on the carriage to change. Sometimes we don't know what we need till we try. Inhale, we press out. Exhale, we come in. And then again, decide, can I get the carriage to close each and every time? And if not, maybe the foot needs to be adjusted so you can do that. If you feel like you're getting stuck, you know you could get more or less range of motion here. Adjust your foot on the carriage, okay? But I want both feet to be active. So as you're pushing the carriage out with one leg, you're also pushing the platform out with the other. You're gonna inhale out, exhale in. Hands to prayer position to start to bring them off the hips, making sure the hips stay nice and level. Reminder that either of those positions are also a great place to come back to, but we're just gonna stay with our spines not moving here. Arms can come to T position just like we did on the chair. A little bit harder to keep those arms active in space. But I want you to feel like as the carriage is coming in, you're almost feel like you're pressing your arms down onto maybe some shelving or some, I don't know, something hard or heavy. Or maybe my head, like I was walking right by, and you're pushing me down on the floor. Let's do a few more just like this. Maybe we come in a little slower than we're going out. Yes, beautiful. Keep at your own pace. We've got 5. When I say 1, we'll close the carriage. And for 4, and for 3, and for 2. Great job, friends. On 1, can we click the carriage closed and pause? Bring the hands back to prayer, or your hips are fine. Try to keep the carriage closed and sink low into a little plie or squat, whichever feels better for you, and then come right back up. Do that a few more times. We're going to linger at the bottom for some pulses in a moment. I want you to try to keep the carriage as steady as you can. If your calf is touching the foot bar, it's okay. You can let that happen. Now linger in your squat and pause. Can we pulse the hips up and down a few inches? For 5. Excellent. 4, eyes forward, no looking down. 3, good. 2, carefully stand up on 1, okay? Options to change sides. Hands to the foot bar, feet to the platform as you turn, or step off the reformer behind you and turn that way. Good news, you got 2 legs. If you hate leg slides, bad news, you got 2 legs. All right, hands on the hips. Let's restart the same way on this side and start to press out and in. Okay, maybe this leg, maybe this hip, maybe this oblique. I don't know, maybe your left eye. I don't know. If something tells you that you can't press out as much or something feels weird here, then the other side, move your foot on that carriage. I saw some little adjustments we made on the other side. So if you feel like you need it here, take it. But same things apply. Inhale out, exhale in. Foot to foot, thigh to thigh. As much as you're pushing the foot on the carriage away, you obviously are pushing the foot on the platform, but not going off of it, like duh, right? I don't want to quit my job today. Inhale out, exhale in. Hands to prayer if that was a nice challenge for you. If you like hands on hips, leave them there. Right? Sometimes even just changing in space like that psychologically makes us lose our balance. Yes, hands to T when you feel ready to add that in. And make sure you're pressing on down if I were to come and try to move your arms. Or maybe if I was to come and try to put my coffee right on the back of your hand. It would just go for a long ride with you. Can we close the carriage each time? We've got 5 seconds here. And then we'll hold that carriage closed. For 4, slower on the in. I don't mind a little faster on the out, just slower on the in. For 3. And for 2. Good job, guys. Bring that carriage closed on 1. Hands to prayer. Take your squat and stand it back up. It's only as low as feels good for your knees. You don't even have to stick the butt out. It can be more of a plie, but I want the carriage to stay steady. Before we were pushing away foot to foot. Now you're pulling in foot to foot. Yes. Can we add our pulses? Eyes forward, heart forward. Take it down for 5, 4, 3, 2. And on 1, stand all the way tall. Very good job. Now we're going to come off the carriage. So hands down for help and carefully step over to your mat space. Very nice job. All right, we're going to go over to the springboard. We need to pull that Bosu ball a little bit away from the springboard. If it's close, maybe about in line with the legs of your reformer back there. And then kneel on the Bosu facing your springboard. Have a kneel. Now, if you feel like when we get started, you need to move that Bosu ball back or in further, you get up, you move it, and get right back down. If you hate the kneeling, you can come standing on the floor with your feet wide outside the Bosu. Grab your handles for me, let your toes tuck onto the floor behind you, and look straight ahead with nice, tall, proud posture. Let's start with a little chest expansion. So let's press those arms back and bring those arms back forward. So if you feel like you can't get the arms behind you and your chest proud, you're bending the elbows, your neck is getting tension, you're shrugging, take a little less tension. You could maybe just walk the knees forward, some of you on the Bosu. Depends on the length of your shins and if your feet can still touch the floor. Otherwise, get up, move it, get back down. If that's the hardest thing you can do today, you know what I say, right? You have a great life. Now, press down a few more times, but lift up the breastbone more. And notice if your feet and knees are wobbling. And I want you to play a little bit with that. Could you maybe hover your right toes off? Keep the left toes on for a little anchor, but continue to chest expand. It's kind of fun to watch as an instructor because you kind of like bounce around a little bit, but then you catch yourself, and I'm like, oh, there's the core. Can you do the other foot if you haven't already? You kind of get where we're going, okay? Now, can we keep the same control, keep the same posture, and maybe both feet lift off the floor behind you? Ooh, yes, very nice work. Try to take it slower forward. I feel like that's one of the bounciest parts, to be honest. We've got 5 seconds here, and then we're going to hold and pause. And for 4, Great. Yes, quieter, stronger springs, much better for 2. Give me one more here. Press those arms back and pause and hold. Remember, the floor is back there for your toes. Can you look to your right without moving a thing? Can you look to your left? Can you look back center? Arms come forward. Let's do it again. Feet are there if you need it. Press those arms back. This time, look left, then right. Good. Look center. Arms come forward. We have 2 more to try to find the stillness. Press back and hold. Look right. Someone walking by thinks you're kneeling on the floor. Look left. Oh, yes. So good. Look center. Arms forward. Last one here. Remember, we look left. Press back. Hold. Look left. Then a right. Then a center. And then arms come all the way forward. Very good job. Go ahead and drop those handles. Step back. Put your hands on top of that Bosu ball. And take a little pike for me. So you can walk back to like downward dog or pike stretch, pedal out those legs, stretch your shoulders, stretch your arms. Very good job. Alrighty, roll your spine all the way on and up and turn around to face your chair. Okay, we've done legs, we've done arms. Let's get to the abs. We're gonna do some pikes today. So walk on up to the chair for me. Sticky pads, right? I got a couple friends who like the stickies. Let me go and grab those suckers for you. All right, hands to the back sides of the chair. And you put one foot on the pedal, gently push it down to the floor, and then add your other foot, Pilates V, and just lower and lift your heels for a second. There you go. Perfect. Here, take one. They're all kind of mushed together today. All right, if you need stickies, you let me know at any time. I'm part of the club. I get it, okay? So lower, lift the heels, round the spine. Okay, remember when we were back to footwork, we were lifting the heels up to the backs of the thighs? That's the same sensation that's going to help us get the pedal up. So is rounding the spine as much as possible, but if you feel like that's a lot, you are welcome to stay flat, okay? My shorter than me friends, last thing, you can bring your hands a little closer to you from those back corners, but let's see what happens, okay? When you're ready, round your spine, lift your heels, and float that pedal up. Yes, and then ride that pedal down, okay? And the first one's, range of motion may not be as high or as low as you want. I want it to be nice and controlled, and then once you find your core and your strength, you can go from there. How much can you let the head go? Feeling, of course, safe, right, with your neck to do that. Looking more to your thighs and your knees, watching your legs come up and down behind you. The more the head drops, the higher the hips will go. Just note to self. The more the heels lift, the more the hips will go. Can you click the pedal close? That's just a question I'm asking. The answer might be no. Just putting that in your brain, okay? Push down and pull that chair apart. Really round your shoulder blades. We're going to go about 5 more seconds here. Take breaks as you need. We're not going to be in pikes for very long, okay? But we are going to do a little bit of frog legs in a moment. For 4. You guys look excellent. I love your breath. Not that I have to hear it, but I know you're using it. Last one here. Can you bring the pedal up at least about halfway and start to bend the knees in and out towards your elbows, keeping the spine as round as you can, if you can. Good. I like that the upper body is staying still. How high can you click that pedal up? How low can you push it down without moving a thing? You've got 5. Beautiful job. For 4. And for 3, like count faster. For 2 and 1, ride slowly, quietly down to the floor. Good. Hinge back, forearms or hands on the top of the chair, heels drop, tendon stretcher, running, whatever feels nice, because we're not going to be getting those things in our footwork on Reformer today. Yes, very good. If you have stickies, you're just going to leave them on the top of your chair, okay? One foot comes to the floor, opposite foot guides your pedal all the way on and up. That was nice. We haven't done those in a few weeks. Okay, we're going back to the Reformer for our second set of leg slides, okay? So foot on the platform, foot on the carriage, hands are there if you need it on the foot bar, and stand just like we did before. Maybe find your foot on the same place that you think it came from in the first round. Alrighty, arms go out into a T right away, but Lisa, turn around and face me. Arms go out into a T right away. Here you go, my friend. All right, and start to press the carriage out and in and just start to move your legs, right? So the legs are going to do the same thing, but each time we do the circuit, we add on. So now we're going to do our spine movements today. We're eventually going to do rotation and lateral flexion, but we're going to do it kind of a little certain way, okay? Even though we're all facing to the back and have different things next to us, we're all going to go left and right, okay? So on the next one, push the carriage out, pause for just a moment, twist or rotate your spine to the right, okay? Untwist, let's close the carriage. We're going again to the right, press the carriage out, laterally flex up and over, and then bring that carriage into close. Now we do the same thing to the left. Ready? Press it out and pause, twist to the left, untwist, bring the carriage in. Okay, do the same thing again, press it out, this time laterally flex to the left, and then bring the carriage in. Okay, so now we flow a little bit, control everything. You can press out and kind of twist at the same time. But let's try to keep the hips somewhat aimed forward. You know there has to be a little bit of rotation here, but I want you to really be in control of that. Your feet need to stay nice and steady. If you start to feel the arches of your feet coming in or up, I want you to anchor more from there. Good. Eyes can go to the back of the front of the studio as you twist if that feels good for you, but obviously safety first. Keep your balance, okay? On the lateral flexion, you can reach down with that arm towards the leg and foot. Get a big old stretch. Now just try to be as even as you can. I like your flow. Check in on a couple things before I start counting us down to do the other side. Can we still make sure the carriage is coming into close regardless of adding the choreography? Yes, and can we make sure our arms are still really like anchored in space? We're still pushing something down with them a little. Let's go 5 more seconds here. Just finish as even as you can. And for 4. Excellent, I love it. For 3, try to get those carriages close. Even if I hear it, I just don't want to hear it slam. And for 3. And for 2. Beautiful job, ladies. Gently and carefully come in from where you are. Close the carriage. Hands to the foot bar as you turn to face the other side. Feet to the platform, and away we go. Other side. All right, arms out to T position. Up nice and tall. Start the legs first, and we'll add in our choreography in a moment. Sometimes one leg and side feels a little bit different than the other, so let's kind of anchor and reset, and then we'll get a moving. I like what I see so far, okay? We're all going to go to the right. Push out, twist right. Come in, untwist. It doesn't matter if you're with your neighbor, really, right? And press out, laterally flex right, right? So we go both to the right, and then we go both to the left. And then press it out, twist to the left, and bring it in, come back home. Yes, good job keeping these hips nice and level. And then laterally flex to the left on the next one. Gorgeous, excellent. I love those carriages. One side usually tends to close that carriage a little more noisy than the other side. I definitely want it to close. I don't mind if I hear that little clink, but I don't want to hear any slamming if you can help it, right? Let's go here for about 5 more seconds. You just be as even as you can. These look lovely. For 5. If you're doing the head turn with the rotation, try not to look down. Same socks I came in with, I'm wearing back here. For 4, and for 3, and for 2. Beautiful job. Safely close that carriage, and then hands down to help you come off to your mat space. Very nice job. All right, so we're going to add on with our kneeling Bosu work. So turn around to the Bosu and pull it a little bit further away from you so it's about in line with where the metal pieces are on your ropes. And again, we may have to move it a little bit, but part of your functional workout here. All right, we're going to come to kneel back on the Bosu ball and grab those handles back out in front of you. All right, feet are going to find the floor behind you. This time, instead of chest expansion, we're going to do a little bit of rowing and add on from there. If you can give me a wide row today for your shoulders, go right ahead and start pulling on those springs, anchoring the toes, deciding if I need to move forwards, backwards, and all that jazz. Yeah, make yourself happy. I know, right? Once you find your space, you stay right there, okay? Eyes forward, heart forward. You might feel like you're already starting to lean back a little. We'll get there, okay? It's going to be fun. We haven't done this in a while. Well, it's been a few weeks. But see if you can anchor your feet and almost come forward. I know, I have to record this. Hold on, can you come look at her shirt really quick? It's like the best thing ever. Let's do a couple more. Have you seen it? For 3 more. And for 2. Good job, ladies. Okay, 1 more. Row the arms in and hold. I love your postures here. Can you keep your spine this flat? And give me thigh stretch. Start to lean back a little bit. Good. And then as you come forward, let the springs go back out, okay? Now, if this bothers your shoulders, switch to a narrow row and try to have your elbows a little bit more narrow. But a wide row tends to be a little bit more supportive here. Good. These look nice, my friends. Don't come up too fast, right? The springs are here to help you, but you and the springs are going to work together. Now, the feet are there, right, to help you anchor, but you're welcome to play like we did before. Maybe you do a thigh stretch with one foot pointed, because when you do thigh stretch with a pointed foot, it feels slightly different than a flexed. Even if it's just to get a different stretch through the front of the hip. And then you switch feet if you do something like that. And then you can go both feet up if you're feeling Pilates frisky today, right? But eyes forward to number 11 for now, and we listen before we do. Okay? If you'd like to stay here, you can. If you would like to start adding spinal extension. The floor is far away today, so if you're a floor to head person, right, don't go back that far, okay? I've seen some of y'all, and it looked good, okay? Row the arms in. Start to lean back to thigh stretch. Lift the heart, and then you can start to lean back further. Remember, right, it comes, yes, from your thoracic spine. Eyes to come up. Don't let the heart come up before your eyes. Bring the eyes up to the heart, then everything back up together, okay? Take your time, go at your own range of motion, go at your own pace. I like the challenges you are and you're not taking. This looks lovely. Elbows a little wider and higher as you lean back. It's gonna feel a little chicken wingy, but I promise, yeah, it's gonna broaden out that chest and make it easier for thoracic extension. 5 seconds here, and then we get to come out of this position. Should feel nice. For 5, challenging but nice. For 4, looks perfect. For 3, and for 2. And from wherever you are, come all the way back and up. Excellent. Round forward, carefully drop the straps, hands to the top of the Bosu, pike the hips up, and take another downward dog. You can pedal out the legs and knees since we were kneeling and stretch out your shoulders a little bit. Good work. All right. I forgot the last round of cardio in the last circuit, so we're just going to do an extra long round of cardio here. Hands stay on the Bosu ball, feet walk back behind you into a plank. And off we go for mountain climbers. You guys know what those are. If you feel like you don't have enough space behind you, you can gently push the chair away or gently move the Bosu. It might only need like an inch or so. Depends on your height here. But I want you to think it's a quote-unquote cardio burst. And you're like, well, that's why I don't take cardio class. That's okay, go slow. But if you want, let's try to kind of quicken that pace. And let's see if we can get the heart rate up just the tiniest little bit, right? Just for about a minute or so, nothing crazy. Eyes a little forward over that Bosu ball. Your heart should be forward so your feet can feel light to do this in the first place. Remember back in the day when you first started taking Pilates, you do planks and your socks would come off? And then you realized it wasn't the socks, it was you not using your core. 5 more seconds, shift forward, use that core. For 4, and for 3, so strong guys. For 2, and on 1, you choose pike or child's pose. We will eventually come to standing, but give yourself a moment here. Excellent work. All right, roll your spine all the way on and up. Turn around to face that chair. We are going back into pikes, so my sticky friends, you will still need those. Hands to the back or sides of the chair. 1 foot on the pedal, push it all the way down. Add the other foot and just pause there for a moment. So we're gonna leave the upper body nice and square with the hands just like they were in the last round, but we're gonna try to turn our feet to face the back of the studio. So I want you to stay on your tippy toes, but try to turn your toes and your hips all the way back, kind of to face me. And if you can't, you can still have them a little on the diagonal, no big deal. Now rounding the head and the spine is gonna be a little bit more awkward. You might have one shoulder a little bit closer to your ear, but let's keep those arms wide if we can, as wide as your body can, or your shoulders can go. Yeah, there you go. So bring that hand right back here, my friend. There you go. All right, now can we pike up from here? Drop the head, lift the hips, lift the heels. All the same things from the last pikes apply. Now it's just going to feel maybe like a different range of motion. You might feel it a little bit more on one side of the body, maybe one shoulder and arm a little bit more than the other. But try to do all the same things. Heels high, head down. Knees can soften a little bit here if this feels a little bit less supportive of a position than the last one, or go back to the last one, turn your feet to face forward, okay? Let's inhale to come up, exhale to come down. Let's play with that breath a little bit here. No froggies here, but we are going to add some pulses. We've got 5 seconds. Again, not too long in the planks. For 4, or in the pike, sorry. For 3, and for 2, can you pike up a little, drop those hips, and come up an inch, down an inch with that pedal. But technically, it's not your feet, right? It's your abs. I'm pushing that pubic bone with my finger up and up. You pull in and in. For 3, for 2, slowly, quietly ride it down. Take a quick rest. Turn the feet back forward if you need to. You've got running, you've got tendon stretch. Roll out your wrists and shoulders. Great job, guys. Okay, let's turn those feet to face the front of the studio. Can we keep the hands about in the same spots? That looked really nice to me if it felt good and supportive to you. And then when you're ready, head drops down, hips lift up, heels lift up, pike away. Don't be surprised if one side gets higher than the other. Don't judge it. Just do what this side can do. Again, softening the knees for a little bit more support here, especially if this is a little bit more of a challenging side. Allowing the head to drop a little bit as things get more challenging. You're going to try to hold a little bit of tension in the back of that neck, but the lower the head, the higher the hips. Let's go 5 seconds before we pulse. For 4, I loved the pulses on the last side. Can we do them as smoothly here? For 3, for 2, pike it up, hold on 1, up an inch, down an inch, and up, and up. From that pubic bone, we lift for 3, for 2, quiet, slow down, and stretch. Yes, long, so beautiful. I saw all kinds of shaking. Okay, 1 foot to the floor. Other foot guides your pedal all the way up. Good. and we're gonna return back to the reformer for our last round of leg slides, okay? So come back carefully and safely stand on your reformer, just like you did before, facing the back of the studio. This time we are gonna be picking the flowers. I haven't done this one in a few weeks. I'll do the choreography with you. Okay, arms are gonna come by the side to start. Okay, let's push the carriage out and send the arms out and hold, and then we'll be able to flow. We're gonna kind of take it piece by piece. Try not to move the carriage and hinge with as flat of a spine as you can and pause. Now pretend you're picking up flowers as you round your spine, bring the arms down to grab whatever the heck you want, and as you roll up your spine, you toss your flowers and close your carriage all at the same damn time. Yes, that was lovely. Do it again, let me see. Press it out, big stretch. Hinge it on forward. Round, drop the head, scoop the flowers, roll up, carriage in, arms to the sky, carriage closes at the top. We're right back where we came from, okay? Flow here at a nice pace that feels good for you to control. Thinking about when you're hinging and picking the flowers, try not to move the carriage until you have to start closing that carriage to come back up. Good, again, I like that we're getting it closed. Might make a little bit of noise, especially on this one, because now we have a little bit more choreography, a little more things to control here, but you try your best. Very good, not too long of a round here. Let's take it in and out for about 5 more seconds here. When you're hinging, try not to arch the back. I know we're sticking the butt out a little bit, but I want to see the core still pulling in. We've got 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and carefully and quietly close the carriage on 1. Ah, that looks so graceful. All right, let's turn around and do the other side. Hands here to help you as you come to the platform and turn to face me. Excellent. All right, arms out to T. Let's go slow to start. Press it out, pause. Hinge, don't move that carriage. Good, round, reach for the flowers, grab them, carriage in, arms up, and then we're right back where we came from. We press it out. We hinge it forward. Round and grab it, lift, and you move the carriage as you're rolling up. When you're hinging, the carriage tries not to move. You try to keep it steady as you, look for the flowers. Once you grab them, then we can come and flow everything back in. Yeah, it should feel like a nice little dance. But again, just like before, one side might be harder to control that carriage in, right? I hear it a little bit more on this side, so use that as your guide. Maybe I have to move a little slower. Maybe I need to exhale a little longer. Maybe I need to use both of my feet a little bit more, right? Pull the platform to the carriage as much as the carriage to the platform. Excellent job. We've got 5. We've got 4. We've got 3. Perfect. Don't rush for 2. And just from wherever you are, finish your last round and close your carriage on 1. Very good job. Hands here to help you safely step off of your reformer. Let's go right on over back to the mat space. Instead of kneeling, we're actually going to stand on the Bosu ball. I want you to bring it a little bit closer back in towards the springboard. Alrighty, so from here, stand up on the Bosu and grab those handles for me. Know that the ballet bar is in front of you if you need. Start a little chest expansion. See if you need to move in or out and change where your Bosu is to have enough tension to do this, okay? Once you've found where your Bosu needs to be, we're gonna do our arms standing instead of kneeling this time. This brings a little bit more work in towards the core and pelvic floor, a little bit more work for your balance, okay? Nice and quiet springs on the forward and the back. And to someone walking by, they should think you're standing just on a flat surface on the floor. So even though you feel your feet constantly moving around, it looks still. Like when you watch skateboarders or surfers and they're just like standing on the board, they're not just standing on the board, they're like fighting the wiggles inside the same way that you're fighting them here. Okay, we're gonna start to add in the little head turn. Press back and pause. Can you look right? Can you look left? Can you look center? Arms come forward. Let's do it again. Press it back. This time look left. Quiet springs on the in. Look right. Look center. And arms come forward. Better, better. 2 more. Press back, breastbone up. Look right. Look left. Look center. Arms forward. Last one here with the head turn. Press back. Look left. Good. Look right. Look back center. Pause. Can we pulse the arms back and not bounce on the Bosu ball? Hearts up and proud, shoulder blades are gently pulling together towards the back pockets. Good, fight the wiggles of your feet. It looks great. You've got 10, 9, 8, 7, hearts up, 6, gaze up, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and take a rest. Very nice job. All right, go ahead and take those handles down, step off of that, or bring them down, step off of your Bosu ball, put your hands on top of the Bosu ball, and go into another round of mountain climbers. It's not the exact order that I like. Missed a round, but we'll be fine. Life goes on. Good, you pick your pace, you pick your poison. Bye, friend. Now, if you're feeling Pilates frisky, because we're going to take about 1 more minute of this, because I missed that round before. If you want to flip around and put your feet on the Bosu ball, hands on the floor, take a quick break, go ahead and change positions, and try to do your mountain climbers that way. You have plenty of time to do it. The other friends who are still mountain climbing, just keep climbing your mountains. Yep, you pick your poison. Now, if you do it that way, you got to stay on the hands, not the forearms, if that's available. Yes, good job, queens. Eyes forward, hearts forward. That's a hard feeling if the feet are on that ball. Can we go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest on 1. I suggest child's pose. I don't mind pike, but after all that, probably gonna feel good to come to the knees. Excellent work. Okay, last little bit at the chair, then we get into our stretching, okay? So back to our pikes. So stand all the way up and face the chair. Hands on the chair so we can push the pedal down. 1 foot on to push it to the floor, other foot joins it. And I want you to stay in Pilates V to start, okay? Alrighty, so from here, we're gonna take this into a little single leg. I want you to take your right foot and hook it behind your ankle, kind of like this, okay? You can actually wrap the toes around if you need more support, or you can just let ankle touch ankle, but your knee's a little bit bent, kind of look like a little ballerina, okay? From here, round your spine and see if you can pick that pedal up with 1 leg. Ooh, and then lower down. You may or may not have the same range of motion, okay? I'm going to add a tiny bit of choreography here. You can choose to stay just like this, or put both feet back down if you want more support. This is our last round. Heads down, heel, right, because there's only 1, up, hips up. If you'd like to add on, when the pedal comes up, can your right leg lift behind you? When the pedal comes down, can your ankles find each other again? That's it, guys. You may now start to keep that right leg a little more straight on the leg lifts instead of bent out like a little ballerina. 5 seconds here, not too long. And for 4, how high can we go? Use the back leg kicking up to help you lift that pedal. For 3, there we go, queens. For 2, slow and quiet, write it down on 1, take a rest. Good, rest shoulders, rest wrists, pedal out those legs. Nice work. All righty, from here, let's do the other side. So assume the position, and then this time left ankle comes behind the right, and start to pull that pedal up and down here. Head down, hips up, heel up, and that'll get you higher. Okay. Once you're like, all right, I got this, you can start to lift that leg up and add that little bit of choreography. Use that leg like a lever. Allow that lifting leg to lift your hips a little higher. Yes, good. Quiet with your pedal for 5. And for 4. Good job, everyone. For 3. And for 2. Excellent job. And on 1, feet come down, hinge back, take whatever stretch here you would like. Just don't pull your chair over, of course. Yeah, good work. All right, 1 foot finds the floor for me. Other foot brings that pedal all the way on and up. Lovely job. All right, we have to do 1 prone thing. We're gonna do our swan dive, but I wanna do it on the Bosu ball today, actually, because we've done a lot of wristy stuff today, so let's take it out of the wrists and shoulders. Pull the Bosu into the center of the studio. Again, if you're functional fitness of the day, moving that thing around. And let's keep the head to the springboard as we come to lie with our pubic bone and hips on top of the Bosu and our hands and our forearms on the floor. Just coming into a nice supported prone position. You can lay there like a rag doll and give yourself a little moment. Legs nice and long behind you. Toes are going to point. If we can have legs together, great. If not, feet can be open. Your feet can be on or off the floor. Can you put your hands on the floor under your hips, under your shoulders and push up for a swan? And then lower back down. If you feel like you're not coming up high enough, scoot your booty a little more forward so your pubic bone is more on and your belly button is more off. And then once you find your position, you can. If you want to stay with just doing swan today, I like what I see so far. Eyes lift first, then the chest. If you want to add a little more, you can keep the hands on the floor and teeter-totter, more like the swan dive, where the legs lift as the head lowers, and then legs lower as the head lifts. If you're feeling Pilates frisky today, as you lift to swan, you can try to lift the hands for a second and catch yourself as you come back down. If you're over it, child's pose is your friend. These look really nice, guys. It's always a fun one to do. Feels actually kind of nice on your back, to be honest. Do this on the Bosu. Let's go here for about 5 more seconds. Can you use your exhale to push you up for 4, and for 3, and for 2, and for 1. Press back into child's pose. You should have just enough time to sit there. Very good job. Alrighty, rolling your spines all the way on and up. Turn around to face the chair for me. All right, last and final thing here. Let's take a little stretch at the chair. I want you to bring your right leg on top of the chair for me. Arms come to rise. Nice big hamstring stretch as you come forward. So let's take all the equipment a little bit out of the play. Just use ourselves. I'm not going to pick apart your form here, but the more square your hips, the deeper the stretch. You can point, you can flex. If you happen to be able to reach the pedal, you can try to go down for it and deepen your stretch. May not push anywhere, but you can reach for it. Good. Pigeon stretch facing this way. No need for the pedal, but see if you can bring that leg atop the chair like we would facing the other direction. And then just let your hands kind of come down. If pigeon stretch is not your friend, keep your foot on flat on top of the chair. Take a lunge instead. Good. Just use your hands to support you as you round forward. Again, enjoy your stretch. I'm not going to pick apart your form here. Thanks for playing circuit with me. I think I did all right. I don't know. We'll see. Nothing bad will happen to me. It's just, And then switch sides. I just kid. No, it's really good. It's actually nice. They want a lot of feedback from us so they know how to make this the best because, yeah, it's fun to teach. Honestly, I've really enjoyed doing it. And it'll be nice since some of you guys have been here for years and years, so now we get a whole new, thing to play with, right? Be good. Thanks for playing. All right, pigeon stretch when you're ready. Good. Very nice job. Okie dokie. When you're ready to come out of the stretch, feet find the floor, face the pedal. Remember, it's a little bit heavier, but sometimes a little bit of a heavier pedal actually helps us feel a deeper stretch. We're going to take our final roll down with the pedal. Arms rise. You start to melt your spine forward. If you're like, hey, I don't want to use the pedal, my wrists have had enough, scoop back and just be a rag doll in front of the pedal. But try to push it down, round the spine a little bit. Options to just hold and breathe into this stretch. Options to move the legs a little bit. Options to bend the elbows, do your tricep presses. Yeah. You decide how hard you want to work or stretch here at the end. For 3. And for 2. Good. Pedal down gently on 1, ladies. Remember, it's a little heavy today, so resist it carefully. Up and up and up. Arms come to the sky. Take a nice big inhale at the top if you want a little baby extension. Oh, good. And lower your arms to be finished. Very nice job. All right, I'm going to grab your wipes. Do me a favor. Put your yellow springs back up to the number 11 while I am passing these out. Put your foot bar back up to the middle level where it goes. And then, of course, once you've wiped your chair, your Bosu ball can go right back on top. You guys are always good at cleaning for me. Thank you so much. If you have stickies, I'll leave our basket in the front for you to toss those in. Make sure they don't get in the garbage. You're welcome. Let me get you one more. And that's it. If you're here for the next class, we brought out all the toys, so I'll call you in and, yeah, it's going to take us a minute to clean up. But thanks for hanging and waiting with us. Yes. Perfect. Boxes and mats away. Everything else looks nice and shiny. You need that, I don't know. Excellent. All righty. I'm back next Friday. Hope to see you all there. You're welcome. I think that's it to clean us up. Great job.